Hey YouTube, what's up? I'm doing a natural, glowy, dewy, hydrated spring makeup look for you today. This is one of the lip options. I give you 3. This video is going to be really skin focused because for me the key to a really radiant, glowy makeup look is really good skincare. So I'm going to go through all of that with you at the beginning of the video, and then we're going to go through creating this look. I have some kind of glossy eyes and like really glowy skin. You can see the glow coming through. I love it. So if you guys want to learn how to get really hydrated, dewy looking skin, this is for all my dry girls, this is for all my oily girls, this is for all my girls, then just keep watching. I'm going to show you how to do it. Okay, so today we're doing super glowy, super hydrated skin with kind of like glossy eyes, and then we're gonna do 3 different lips to kind of show different ways that you can wear the look. I've had a lot of clients coming in lately talking about really dry skin. Up in Canada right now, the weather is freezing, it's super dry, it's really abrasive, it's really hard on the skin, so even people who traditionally don't have dry skin are experiencing problems with it right now. So the most important thing to having a really glowy look at the end of your makeup is to start by prepping the skin. So I'm gonna start, it's so important to take care of your skin. So before I started filming, I exfoliated and cleansed my face. Exfoliation is so important. That's something that when I ask my clients if they're doing it, most of them say no. So it's really important to get like a glycolic exfoliator that's going to remove all the dead skin from your face and just leave new soft skin underneath. So I've gone ahead and done that, and then we're gonna do a little bit of skincare. So I'm gonna start with a serum. This one's from the Abnormal Beauty Company. It has a lot of different things in it. It's called the Buffet, so it's a multi-peptide serum, lots of different benefits in here. So I'm just gonna start with a little bit of this. Having a good moisturizer is key. So you want something that's going to add hydration to your skin and keep you hydrated throughout the day. So I have oily skin, and in the past I would always use like gel moisturizers, like the Clinique one. Anything that was like, people would always tell me like, you have oily skin, you need a gel moisturizer. You want something oil free. But I disagree with that. I find that those moisturizers don't add enough moisture to my skin, and then my skin starts to overproduce oil, causing breakouts and like oiliness through my T-zone. So I found it's actually really helpful to use a really hydrating moisturizer. I'm in love with the Charlotte Tilbury Magic Cream. It's made a huge difference in my skin. It's got hyaluronic acid, camellia oil, rosehip oil, aloe. It's got a non-chemical SPF in it. It's honestly really amazing. And I've really seen a difference in my skin. My skin is more plump, hydrated, and it just gives a really beautiful base for the foundation to go over top. It leaves the skin looking really hydrated and dewy. The more hydrated your skin looks, the more youthful it looks. So I'm gonna add on a healthy amount of this. And then just a little bit of chapstick just to moisturize my lips. Okay, so prep is done. That was the most important part. I'm gonna move into foundation, primers, etc. So for primer today, I'm gonna use the Charlotte Tilbury Wonder Glow. You want an illuminating primer. I know Becca makes one. There's tons of different brands that make one. I really like this one. It's gonna help give the skin even more of a glow. Okay, next step is you want a really luminous foundation. So even if you have oily skin, you still want a luminous foundation. I have oily skin and I use luminous foundations all the time. You just need to, we're gonna specifically set certain areas with powder, we'll get to that. But the foundation I'm gonna use is from Guerlain. It is the Lingerie foundation. I just have a sample of it, but I'm loving it, it's so beautiful. And then I'm gonna take a buffing style brush. This is the Real Techniques Expert Face Brush, which I recommend to clients all the time because it's really affordable and really fantastic. And I'm just gonna go in circular motions and buff that product into the skin. The shade that I'm using is W1. So if you don't have a lightweight foundation, most of your foundations are full coverage or matte, and you want to go for a dewy look, what you can do is you can just take a little bit of oil and mix it in with your foundation. So I have rosehip oil that I really like to use, but you can pretty much use any kind of oil. There's lots of different face oils. You can use jojoba oil. Even if it's not an oil-based foundation, you can just add a couple drops of that, mix it in with your full coverage or matte foundation, and then apply it to the skin, and that's going to give you the same effect as like a dewy foundation would. And so with my oily, acne-prone skin, I have a few blemishes that are kind of poking through. Luminous foundations are usually pretty lightweight, so I'm just gonna go in with a second layer over that area, and then I'm gonna use concealer there as well. Okay, so my breakouts are still poking through a little bit, so I'm gonna use a little bit of a full coverage concealer just on those areas. What I like to do is just usually use a lightweight foundation or a medium coverage foundation and then go over those areas with a full coverage concealer. The one that I'm gonna use today, I have another sample. I'm so ghetto with all my samples. This is the Clé de Peau concealer. So this is kind of like a cult classic. This is a really famous full coverage concealer. I'm gonna mix the shades Ivory and Almond on a concealer brush and just put those over the areas where I need a little bit of extra coverage. Okay, I don't know if that was filming, so I'm just gonna say it again. I'm gonna take a little bit of the Benefit WhatsApp highlighting pen. It's a cream highlighter, and I'm gonna use a little dual fiber brush, synthetic, and apply that to the tops of my cheekbones. And just blend it with my finger. So beautiful. Let's see. Love it. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this and put it right above my brows right here. Okay, and then I want to do a little bit of concealer. So I want to use a lightweight concealer to go along with my lightweight foundation. If you use a concealer that is too full coverage with a light or medium coverage foundation, it's gonna look really cakey. It's gonna look really obvious that you have concealer there. So it's nice to have different kinds of concealers. I have the I have the Tarte Shape Tape concealer that I can use when I'm doing like more of a full coverage look. For this like daytime glowy, dewy, glossy look, I want to use a nice lightweight concealer. So I'm going to use the Maybelline Master Conceal. This is in the shade 20 Light. I'm going to be contouring today, but I still want to create contours in my face. So what I'm doing, because this concealer is lighter than the foundation that I'm using, what I'm going to do is just help to contour the face. So I need to add lightness to other areas of the face, so it's not just bright underneath my eyes. So I'm going to take a little bit of that and put it right in my forehead, on my chin, and down the bridge of my nose. So you want all the lightness to be through the center of the face. Okay, if you don't have problems with concealer creasing underneath your eyes, then skip this step. Not everyone needs to set the concealer underneath their eyes. If you have problems with concealer creasing, settling into fine lines, breaking up underneath your eyes, then yes, go ahead and set them with the powder. But if you don't have that issue, don't do it, because you're adding more dryness underneath the eyes and you want it to look really like glowy and hydrated under there. So if you don't have to, don't. Ooh, sun's hooking me up right now. Okay, so I'm gonna use a little bit of the Charlotte Tilbury Airbrush Flawless Finish Powder. This powder is amazing, especially for those of you who have dry skin. It has almond oil and rose wax in it, so it doesn't make the skin look dry, and it is jet milled 3 times. So they mill it 3 times, so it's super, super fine. So you can't even see it on the skin, and it does not leave the skin feeling dry. So I'm just gonna take a little brush like this, and I'm gonna go in with not too much, just a little bit of product, and set that underneath my eyes. I don't wanna take this powder too far down because that's gonna go over top of that cream highlight that we put down. Okay, And so continuing on with the cream products theme, because that's what we're doing. We're doing glowy, fresh, hydrated skin. So cream products is what we're going with here. I'm just gonna take a little bit of this creamy blush from MAC. It's called Posy. Mine's a little bit broken. And I'm just gonna put a little bit of that on my finger and just dab that onto my cheeks. Ooh, I look crazy. If you don't have a beauty blender, you can just use your fingers. I don't like to touch my face with my fingers, but honestly, if you could do all of these steps with your fingers, that's what I would definitely recommend. If you use your fingers to apply your foundation, etc., you're gonna get even better looking skin than this. One of the great things about cream products is that even if you apply too much product like I just did, if you just continue to blend, it's going to just blend away into the skin and never look like you're wearing too much. So love that. Okay, so I'm gonna move on to brows. So there's two different things you can do with your brows. My brows are really messy right now, like I really need to get them done, so I'm gonna have to fill them in a little bit just to get a little bit of shape. But if my brows were done, all I would do is take a little bit of brow gel and brush it upwards so that they're kind of messy. I'm gonna do that at the end anyways. So if your brows are nice and clean, just give them a brush with a little bit of brow gel, because we're not gonna do a really heavy eye look. We don't need a really heavy brow. If we do have a heavy brow, it'll look a little bit too dramatic. So I'm just gonna use a pencil for shape, and then I'm going to add a little bit of gel just to sort of set it and make them fluffy. Oh, hello. Okay, so I'm using my Charlotte Tilbury Brow Lift in the color Cara D. I'm gonna take this spoolie and just brush my brows upwards. And I'm just gonna give them a little bit of shape. And then once I've got them kind of shaped out, I'm gonna take a little bit of my brow gel. This is the L'Oreal Paris Brow Stylist Plumper. It's in the shade medium to dark. And I'm just gonna take that and comb upwards through my brows. What I'm gonna use to make my eyes look nice and glossy is a pop shade from one of my Charlotte Tilbury palettes. I think I'm gonna go with Golden Goddess. So I'm gonna take this shade number 4 from the Charlotte Tilbury Golden Goddess palette. I'm just gonna take that on my finger and rub that all over my lid. I don't have any primer down or anything. I kind of want my skin to show through underneath. And as the oils start to come out throughout the day, it's gonna mix with the kind of glitter and just look really beautiful. And then I want to bring a little bit of definition to my eyes, so I'm going to use a little bit of eyeliner, but I want to use a really soft liner, nothing too dramatic. If you only have like a creamy gel liner, that's fine. You just would smudge it out with like a Q-tip to make it look a little bit softer. What I'm going to use is the Charlotte Tilbury eyeliner in the color Audrey. It's one of her classic powder pencils, so they're a little bit softer. So I'm just going to bring this along my lash line and then kind of wing it out. It's not gonna be like a cut wing. It's gonna be kind of like a smoky wing to just kind of pull the eye in an upwards direction. I'm just running a pencil brush over top of that just to kind of soften it. want to line my lower lash line as well. So you want to connect your wing to your lower lash line. So you don't want a wing just like floating up over here. It should connect to the lower lash line. So the lower lash line should continue up into your wing. I'm gonna line my waterline with the Charlotte Tilbury Eye Cheat. It's a skin color eyeliner. You can use white if you want as well, but because I'm going for like natural, I want to use one that's more skin toned. And mascara, I'm using the Charlotte Tilbury Full Fat Lashes. It is my favorite mascara. I love it. I'm gonna move on to the rest of my face. I'm gonna use a little bit of Coola bronzer. And I'm going to bronze around the edges of my face. So when you're bronzing, you want to do the edges of your face. You don't want to put bronzer all over. For highlight today, I'm going to use one from MAC. This is called Lightscapade. It's a mineralized skin finish. I'm going to use this one because I'm looking for something soft. We're looking for glowy, glossy. We don't want something metallic that's going to be super dramatic. But of course, we want to look glowy and glossy. To dip that right in there, and we're going to hit the high points of the face. So over top of where we put that cream highlight earlier today. And I'm putting my highlighter on in circular motions so that it's blended, so that I don't get a harsh streak of highlighter running down the side of my face. When you just go like this and do it in circular motions instead, it blends it out for you. Tip of my nose, Cupid's bow. And then I'm just gonna use a little bit of this Bobbi Brown highlighter as well. This is in Sunset Glow, so this has more of a pink tinge to it. And I'm just gonna use that more towards the apples of my cheeks right here where I have blush down. Okay, and I do want a little bit of blush, just a little bit. That cream blush is showing through really nicely, but I just kind of want to set it. So I'm gonna take my NYX blush in the color Natural and just dab a tiny bit of that onto the apples of my cheeks. All right, so for all my oily girls who are worried about all of this glowiness that we've been adding to the skin, I am going to set with a little bit of powder in just strategic areas. So I'm not gonna set all over my face and get rid of all of the building that I've been doing up until this point. I just want to set the areas where we don't necessarily want to glow or where I'm going to get the oiliest. Last but not least is lips. So I'm going to give you 3 different options. I'm going to do a nude, a pink, and a red. So for the first lip, I did Iconic Nude Lip Liner and Very Victoria Lipstick from Charlotte Tilbury. Option number 2 is a beautiful hot pink lip. So this is Pink Venus Lip Liner by Charlotte Tilbury. And this is the Maybelline lipstick in number 865, Fuchsia Flash. I love this one. Option number 3, red lip. I wanted kind of an orangey red, good for like spring. I went with this Lover's Lane like matte lipstick pencil from MAC. Okay, thank you for watching. I hope you guys learned something. Remember, 3 keys to healthy, hydrated, glowy, dewy, springy skin is, most importantly, you need to take care of your skin, so you need to be cleansing and exfoliating. Number 2, you need to prep your skin, so you need a really good moisturizer that's gonna leave the skin looking dewy after you apply it. And number 3, you wanna use a nice lightweight foundation all over your skin, highlight the high points of the face, and then conceal any places that need concealing just on their own. I'm gonna be trying to put up 4 videos in the next 4 weeks. Trying to be a little bit more dedicated to YouTube. I will catch you guys in my next one. Bye.